Think we'll ever have a intro song for SMSoup?
Maybe. We just came darting. Would you like one?
I don't know. It's just something that we could do.
It's something we could do. It's something we said we were going to do for real for what's happening for like a year.
And I never did. So is it easier just to continue to not have one?
I don't know, though.
And
if we had a song, could we just cut all of this out?
I don't know. Do you not like cold opens?
No, I'm fine with cold opens.
I kind of like cold opens. It's just more so like, do we continue having SMSoup? Or, do we like, and then do we keep it and have music play afterwards? Do we just not have that and just have music play,
Right.
and then we start talking about SMSoup, the #1 podcast with soup in the name, but not on the brain. That's right. You're listening to We Gotcha. Oh,
gotcha.
You're listening to SMSoup. Oh no, how'd you get here?
I'm lost as well.
Joining me today is
Shelby.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What's your name?
Spencer.
Nice to meet you.
What are we here to do today?
We're here to give you the best, the bright. Oh, we're here to ask you life's biggest questions first.
We're here to take you on a journey.
We're here to take you on.
Where we answer and ask life's biggest questions. Like,
waiter, how is this soup made?
Okay, but then, what are we talking about?
But then we're talking about the best, the brightest, the clam chowderiest of Boston.
Boston, baby.
Yeah.
We're saying our farewell to Boston.
Goodbye to Boston.
Goodbye, Boston.
I'll put this whole town in my review.
Hope you find your paradise.
The references are just.
Goodbye, Boston.
What are you doing? Stop trying to steal things. Get out of here.
Did he steal fabric?
Yeah.
God, this guy. All right. Well, anyway, we're talking about all the things Boston. We are, as of recording this, a week out.
I know.
Technically
I'm so
8 days.
Excited and so sad at the same time.
In 8 days, we will be driving away.
Oh my God.
Which is crazy.
So that'll be fun to update.
Yeah. So next week's episode will be, that's as of recording this. As of you potentially listening to this on the day this episode comes out, it'll be 6 days.
Yeah.
Which means by the time the next episode comes out, we will already be in Charlotte.
We'll be gone, baby.
But this will still be the same for next episode,
yes.
Which will be a movie club episode,
yeah,
which we will talk about
at the end
in a little bit. Before we get into specifically talking about the best of Boston, is there anything that's on your mind that you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. So this
or not too. That's fine.
This attributes to not so much the Boston experience, just the moving experience, and I felt like it applied. I'll keep it short, probably not, to this.
Don't have to keep it short.
So, with moving, a lot of changes in life happen.
All right.
The birds and the bees. And we had a bunch of items we were looking to get rid of, and I like to use Facebook Marketplace as a shopper. I've used it a little bit as a seller, a little bit, nothing crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it. And with moving, we wanted to sell some of our stuff on it. One, benefit. It puts a little money towards some new stuff at the new place.
Yeah.
Two, it's actually finding a new home versus the questionability of getting donated and like, will it actually get put on the floor? What's going to happen to it?
Mm-hmm.
But obviously it takes a lot more effort than it does just to donate something. But whatever. We have a few things, nothing crazy. We list them. We list them on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh my God. Yes. You don't need that. And then I clicked the post
Submit.
button. Like, oh my gosh, Shelby.
So we're going to talk about etiquette of Facebook Marketplace.
Well, we're trying to sell a couple of things.
We're trying to sell a couple of things.
Yeah.
I already said that.
Right. We're trying to sell an ottoman.
Yeah.
And the big thing is that
we try to sell a portable washer.
We're trying to sell a portable washing machine.
Yeah. Or if you don't know what that is, Google like RV washing machine or something. It's basically you load the machine yourself up with your water and all of that, and you just have to whatever. No one knows what that is unless they like know what RV washers are. Don't make that face, okay? Don't make that face.
Then you set it for the first wash cycle. That's where you have your detergent in. And then for your second wash cycle, that'll actually just be a rinse cycle. Then both will be about 15 minutes. You'll turn both the knobs.
Anyway.
That's what we're trying to sell. And in Boston,
that thing should be a hot ass commodity.
Because
if you didn't know this, Boston loves to not provide you basic amenities.
Right.
And charge you out your ass for rent.
Now hang on. I would say maybe I'm wrong. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
Okay. You're wrong.
I feel like having in-unit washer and dryer isn't.
It's a bit of a luxury.
That's what I was gonna say. That's not a
baseline necessity.
Having it in building should not be viewed as a luxury.
I agree.
Our last apartment,
as in
we
the first
did not
one
have
for Boston,
it. So back in the What's Happening days, we did not have
any wash
in the building. So we had to take it to a laundromat.
Yeah.
And when we did the math, because that's even more expensive.
Yes.
Typically with like quarters and stuff, you're looking at about $4 to wash and dry a load of laundry.
Yeah.
Taking it to a laundromat, you're looking at like $5 to wash, but then you can combine 2 wash cycles into one dryer, which is also $5. So you're looking at $15 to max out the use of the dryer. What would cost you $8 to do
something like
1-1-1-1.
Yeah.
So that's why we got it.
Are we crazy? Like, buildings should have wash and dry, right?
I don't think that's nuts. Because then our building, when we
are
left,
rendering laundromats useless. So should they just be useless? Like, I guess I don't know where I stand on that. Like, my gut says, yeah, they're useless. Put washers and dryers everywhere. But also, it doesn't make more sense to have just more often laundromats that aren't stupid expensive. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I'm debating with myself right now. I'm not actually like.
I feel like they should just be in building.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to walk more than like you shouldn't have to leave your building to wash your clothing.
Yeah.
Now, granted, like dry cleaners, I think are still like that's still
yeah.
But yeah, like a place that literally just has 6 washers in it is so scammy.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah. All right. Sorry,
I get it. It's somebody's investment and all that, but
I don't care if it's someone's investment. If it's useless, it's useless.
I think it is.
I
think it should just be in building. I don't necessarily think it needs to be in unit. That I would say is a luxury.
Yeah, but it's. Nice.
But also we should get closer and closer to that because holy shit, like
we're 25, 26.
Well, no, not us. I'm saying like as a society,
people,
like holy shit.
Also, I think if you are renting the lawn, you shouldn't have to pay extra for in building. Why can't it just be baked into your rent?
Because you're not paying for the if it was baked into your rent, like they added like X amount of electricity and X amount of water usage as just like a baseline of expected.
You're telling me they're not already doing that?
In some situations, yes.
Yeah.
But in others, no. Because we pay for our own electricity.
That's true. Yeah, I get that.
So like then maybe I could see, yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Like once it's in once we have it in unit, like we'll be cognizant of how much we're using it because like if we use it too much, it'll cost us more.
Right.
But in a building, if it's already paid for, like you would just
use it
whenever.
True.
Should it be baked in? Yeah, sure. But like they would have to like do that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Which isn't absurd to think about. But it is definitely a way to mitigate and make sure like you're not doing unnecessary loads of laundry, which is innately good.
I guess.
It sucks that it costs $4 and next thing you know, it's...
I think what makes me mad is that so many of them are still quarter machines.
And not just like card.
Not like card.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I think that actually is what makes me angriest because we sort of crashed at a friend's place outside of college that it was a card system. And I was like, wait, that's brilliant because quarters are actually useless anymore.
Yes.
Outside of laundry, or parking, if people have outdated parking systems, then I'm like, yeah, wait, actually, I think that's what makes me the most angry. It's not even just paying for it. It's us literally going, okay, well, we have this many quarters left. So we can do this much laundry. We have to push it out for like another week. And then you're like asking family members are giving you fucking quarters because they are finding loose change and shit. Like, that's so annoying. Like, if you're going to keep it this way, update your fucking system. I think that's what makes me most angry. Yeah, that's my hot take on laundry machine.
No, yeah.
But anyway,
so what I was getting at is we were looking at $30 just for clothing probably each month to wash. And then we were looking at, you wanted to probably do like bedding and towels, which probably is 2 washers and one, and you might be able to fit it all in one dry cycle.
Yeah, but a lot of places you have to use their big dryer.
Yes. So you're probably looking at $45 a month to do laundry. Yeah. At least. That's like the minimum.
Yeah. So
we bought this.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to go to the laundromat.
Yes.
And so we searched for a portable washer and we got our little baby.
It cost us $130 or something like that at the time.
Yeah.
And like, it's one of those things where you're like, yeah, this will definitely like pay off, right? Mm-hmm. And then now 3 years later, we're realizing that, holy shit, this thing paid off.
More than paid off.
Like, for that upfront, like $130 was nothing to sneeze at.
No.
For us, especially
During
right at the start of
COVID.
COVID.
Yeah.
Like, we were like frantic.
Yeah, we were frantic.
Because we're in this new city that's not cheap.
We were washing underwear in our shower. Like, that's not, like, I'm not being dramatic. We were literally like, oh, we're running low. I'm going to wash it in the shower.
The thing that saved us was that we didn't have to go anywhere.
Yes. Well,
we just sat in our own filth.
Right. Basically, yeah. So we bought it. It was a fantastic investment.
But again, so $45 a month.
Yeah.
That thing paid for itself after 3 months, basically.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have to pay for water. And I don't think it used that much electricity.
It definitely did not.
So, and then we used it every month. And we were doing all of our loads.
During our old place.
In that thing. Mm-hmm. And then fast forward to here, we do have in building. So we would do like... if it like got so piled up, we had enough quarters that we would go and just do it.
Yeah.
Because that was a luxury all of a sudden for us.
Yeah.
But we would still use it here a good bit.
Absolutely. Especially if I just like needed something done. Like it wasn't. Yeah.
Or if we knew we could just spend like 2-3 days to catch up.
Yeah.
Like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
So we knew it was going to be a hot commodity.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to take it out of Boston, where people were like thought we were weird for having this.
You got a million messages.
Oh my god, I got like literally, I think like 45, like right off, like within a 24-hour period. We start to set up the details. All is going well. I'm so excited. This person's about to pick it up literally today, and I always check the person's. I just like scan their main page just to be like, are you a real person?
Serial killer.
Are you like, do you post weird shit? Like, do I really want you to like come to my house? Because obviously you can, I don't know if like, depending on your Facebook Marketplace experience, you can do public meetups. You could obviously offer to drop it off, or you just tell people to come to your place, which, I've done every variation of that. And so, you know, especially when people are coming here, I like to just like check their page quick, make sure there's nothing too weird before I just go giving my address to people. And I click on this person's page and it says lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I was like, that's fucking weird. Because why doesn't it say a single thing about like, oh, they're from Charlotte and they're living in Boston? And I think I just dug for like 2 seconds and was like, well, this can't be right. And somehow Facebook listed my item as being in Charlotte. Only one, not all the things they listed. Only one was listed in Charlotte instead of Massachusetts. And I was like, cool, very cool. So I had to like immediately delete all those messages.
But you like didn't get like that many, right? Like you got a lot.
That wasn't too bad.
Then you switched into Boston.
So then I switched to Boston, and no joke, I got like over 100 messages within again a 24-hour period.
Yep.
And the way I like to do it, I try to be as fair as possible. The thing that's super annoying about Facebook is the way to just start a conversation. Facebook recommends you saying, hi, fill in name. Is this still available? Like that's like an auto-generated, like you can click it and like that starts the conversation. And I understand why you would do that because it's starting the conversation. What else are you going to say? But from someone trying to sell something, when you get 100 messages all saying, "Hi Shelby, is this still available?" I want to throw my phone against the wall, because I'm sitting there going, if I'm now having to actually do the work, because like instead of you just going, "Hi, I'm like interested in this. I could pick it up in the next day, 48 hours. Could the Saturday work?" Instead of you actually just saying something, I'm now having to actually
Force the
initiate
information
conversation
out of you.
Yeah, I'm now having to ask and go like, could you pick it up? To like, I'm just like shooting in the dark, because obviously I don't know what you're thinking, because you've sent me an auto-generated startup response as well as 80 other people sent me. But I try my best to go for like the first few that message me, and I find it's always good to have two conversations going on at the same time, because bound that someone doesn't answer you, someone randomly stops answering you, someone just like gets weird all of a sudden. Like if people are asking for your phone number, if people are asking for this, like don't fucking give it to them. Like keep it in Facebook. Like do not leave Messenger. Unless you like for real trust someone, but like just don't fucking do it. It's not worth it. I've heard and seen so many like weird scams happen. So yeah, as soon as someone starts asking for my phone number, as soon as like any of that happens, they're like immediately out of the running. So you're just like running through people, and it's really fucking annoying, but whatever. So, or the washer. Oh, the other weird thing. Some people, it's just so odd what some like, so there's that, like that bothers me, right? They're like not actually just saying something human. Like I'm definitely more attracted to answer someone who does a human response versus like I can tell someone type something versus the auto generated. But some people I feel like go to the extreme, and they're like, I need to sell someone the story of why I want this. And so then I get these like mini novels that are like, I really need this. I need to be able to wash my baby's clothing. Like they start, like someone started sending like a novel about why they needed it. And to be fair, they'd sent it like, I was already talking to other people. Like they weren't the first like 2 to 3, like they were way in. But of course I see every notification, and they're sending me like why they need it. And I'm like, I'm not trying to sit here and say you don't need it, but like, I don't know what you want from me. Like I'm just trying to sell this washer. Like we have to find a middle point.
Yeah.
Of how we
also
respond.
I'm sure if you go down that path, that person is going to demand you give it to them for $20 because of all the reasons they outlined.
Maybe, yeah, like maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know. It's a very interesting experience trying to like gauge what people are saying, how they mean it, what they want from it. Like it's very weird. So the washer got a lot of interest because Boston, as we've covered, and someone was like, "Oh my god, like I'd love this," and I was like, "Cool, it's yours. Like you're at the top of the list. Like." Let's do it. And I was like, can you get it today? And they were just like, I really can't. Like tomorrow would be a lot better. And I was like, totally fine. That's fine. Like I'm just, again, I have to shoot in the dark because some people don't supply any information. Yeah. So I just start with like what I know.
Tomorrow's fine because that's almost today.
Exactly.
And
24 hours?
It still gets it out of here.
Exactly. Good turnaround. I'll take it. And I'm just like, I'm aware that I have a very flexible life, so I'm happy to be as flexible as possible. And I think this is a huge example as to when I become over flexible, and then it just ends up being like a fucking pain in my ass in the end. But I was like, yeah, tomorrow's totally fine. Like just like let me know when. Hear nothing for like 12 hours. And now at this point, there's other people who like I can tell are genuinely trying to reach out, are this and that, and like I message my number too, and I let them know they're my number too, and I can they're like genuinely communicating with me, and I'm already like, ugh, I almost like
would rather just give it to these
I would
people.
almost rather give it to these people. They're being very communicative. They're being very, and like
it would have been gone yesterday.
It would have been gone. Yeah, it could have been gone yesterday. Like I'm just like, oh, but I told this other person it was theirs, and I try to be as fair as possible because I said that, and I don't like if I'd heard it was mine, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, just kidding. I'd be bummed. Like
yeah, especially if you like just missed a message and like it took you 4 hours to get back.
Exactly.
To them.
Like I try to be very understanding.
We're pretty good about it because like when we want something, we like hawk it, and we just are like waiting, and then as soon as they message us back, we message them again, and then we are waiting and waiting.
I think we have anxiety.
And it's like we really want this thing, and so like we're gonna make sure we get it.
Yeah,
we're gonna make sure we don't fuck this up.
And I understand not everyone has the ability to keep an eye on that all the time. Like people have different circumstances, obviously.
I would get fired over it.
You would get fired over something you want online?
Yeah, like if I'm like working on the production line and stuff starts going wrong because I'm too busy checking Facebook Marketplace, that's on my employer, not me.
Right, of course. I understand we're probably a little to the extreme in terms of like how much we...
Right, but we also give a long leash both ways.
We do, yes. Which is my point. Is like I try to be like, no, I totally get it. Like it's not convenient for everyone to check their phone all the time. Like
So it's
whatever.
Thursday now.
It's
and
now.
This person's gonna pick it up today.
Yeah.
What happened?
It was listed on Wednesday.
Yep.
We communicated.
Well, no, they were gonna pick it up Wednesday, and they said, "Can I get it
Thursday?"
Thursday?" Yeah.
I was like,
So it's Thursday.
100% it's Thursday. It is like late in the day. Like we have passed lunch and I have no concept of what is going on. And I've like seen nothing. And this secondary person is like, I could also come get it today. Like they're being as open and flexible as we would be. And I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Like I swear you're number 2, but like, I'm just trying to see if this person's interested still. Cause I told them it was theirs if they could come get it. And I think it took until like 5 p.m. to get an answer. And the answer was like, yes, I'm coming to get it tonight when I get off work, which...
It was like 7 p.m.
Yeah, the word was like, get off at work at 7 p.m.
But we found out that they lived 2 seconds away from us.
Yes, because at this point it felt like a surefire thing. So I was like,
so
okay,
exchanged
here's my address. This is where you come. And they were like, oh my God, that's so funny. I live like literally like a minute away from you.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy. So it should be really easy to come get this. And they were like, yeah, great. I'll see you after work. It was what, 9 p.m.?
They finally say something.
Which again, we have anxiety. Like I'm aware I'm probably acting a little bit like crazy in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
When I need to do something and there's a time sensitive aspect to it, I can't do anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I physically cannot do anything else. This entire interaction consumed my brain for the entire 72 hours it took to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was definitely being a little crazy and annoying. But like I just can't function and do anything else because I'm worried I'm gonna just like miss it. And like I hate wasting other people's time. I hate being at fault for like something going wrong. So I just like get like that. I didn't do fuck all that whole day. I mean, I worked, I did other stuff, but like mentally, all I could think about was this.
And we were like gonna stream.
Yeah, we were gonna stream. We're like, this is our night. Like it'll be so easy. We'll just do everything we want to do right after this person shows up. 9 p.m. I get a text. I've waited all night to do anything. And at 9 p.m. it's like, hey,
I'm tired.
I don't want to come and get it tonight. Can I get it tomorrow? Which just like sent me over the edge because literally mentally that had been my entire day waiting for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, I know maybe isn't the most normal response, but that's my response and that's what I do. So I was like, I literally was like, okay. And of course, the next day, which is Friday, we actually couldn't. We had an hour window. We had a few hours window.
I told you, I was like, you've been more than fair at this point. You just give them the ultimatum. Like, they need to pick it up before 11 or else they aren't getting it.
Yeah, I literally said, that's fine. But this is the time period in which you have to come get it.
So you effectively said, you were like, look, you can push to tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if you are doing that,
you
have to pick it up before 11 a.m.
Because at this point, I've now literally...
So now they have the choice of, will I get it before 11 a.m. or do I just go get it now because we live 2 seconds away?
Exactly.
And they chose...
Yeah, to never answer me. Well,
they said that's
good.
That's fine. Sounds good.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I will be there before 11. That's effectively what they said.
That was Thursday night. Yeah. Which also needs to be said, at this point, people are still messaging me about the washer.
Oh my God.
I accumulated well over 100 plus messages of people going, hi, can I have this? And then people being like, I really need this. People being like, what?
Hi, Shelby, is this still available?
Well, it was a lot of that.
Hi, Shelby, is
and
this still
then
available?
every now and then it was
Hi, Shelby,
like,
is this still available?
Every now and then it would be like a story of why they need it. And then like people now sending me just question marks as to why I'm not answering them. And
That's
I'm
the
just
worst.
like, holy shit. Like I know as the buyer, you might not really know what the other side looks like, but like, I don't owe it to you to answer you.
Yeah.
If I answer you, I answer you. If
also,
I don't.
The audacity to just send 2 question marks and not to say, hey, Shelby, just checking in again.
Yeah.
Is this still available?
I know.
Like, sorry to bother. Is this still available? To send 2 question marks, that's an instant block.
Yeah. I mean, I don't answer them.
Like, literally.
People are asking me questions that are in the literal description of the thing, like how big it is. Someone wanted to come over and have me teach them how it works. Like, there was so many. My phone is blowing up every like 15 minutes with someone asking a question or something about this stupid washer, which is also why I wanted all of us to be over. So I pushed it to Friday. I said, you know what?
It has to be before 11.
Shit happens, but you have until 11, which they said, that's fine. I'm available all day.
9 o'clock, you
they,
wake up.
For once, are the ones available all day.
And I was like, you should probably let them know that they are available to come get it at any time now.
Yes.
Because you weren't going to do that.
Right.
Which is great communication on your part as
Yep.
well.
Mhm.
So you do that. You hear nothing.
I hear
And then at
nothing.
10:45, 15 minutes from their deadline,
Yep.
I was like, you can give them one more shot.
Yep.
And you said, like, if you don't come and get it by 11,
I just
or
said,
if you don't respond
I said, yeah,
and
like
come and
I
get it
need
by
an
11,
answer or I'm moving on to
like,
the
you're
next
not
person.
getting it. And then 11 o'clock came and they didn't get it.
Yeah, I gave them till a bit after 11, saw they hadn't even like read it. And I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I've given you 72 hours to do this. I'm here just constantly waiting for you to answer me. Like, I'm having to seek you out, even though you're the one who came to me. And I'm only seeking you out because I'm trying to do what my brain feels is the right thing because I told you it was yours.
Right.
So I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like, it has sent me into a mental tizzy for 72 hours straight now. When this other person, again, the whole time was so nice and like communicative and was like, just like waiting, just wait. Like they're
Just
also
really-
waiting,
Yeah.
hoping it's theirs.
Yeah.
And so I, in the end, was honestly relieved I went to this other person.
This shows you, like, how, like,
Ah.
terrible some people are of, like, not.
I know, like people's lives are different and
I
busy.
know, but not caring about somebody else's time. Like, that's
I know,
ridiculous.
I know. So
Like, you were so tired at 9 p.m.
yeah,
that you couldn't, again, go a minute
yeah.
to get a washer that
If
you
they-
so badly wanted.
Genuinely, if they would have answered me on Friday, I would have offered to drop it off on the way. But they just never answered. There was no communication.
I wouldn't have done that.
I would have. It
Fuck
was on
them.
our way. It was on our way. Like, I would have done that. I just needed to know they were, like, receiving my conversation. Like, nothing ever came of it. So, yeah, it was just...
Like, I just can't imagine having somebody, like, literally, like, work hand and foot to, like, satisfy what your needs are in something that you want
Mhm.
to then, like, not say anything
Yes.
and to not communicate back. Like,
Yeah.
that's, like, I don't care what your circumstances are. That's just shitty.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. I get that, like, you might be busy and stuff like that, but, like, then if you're so busy and you can't, like, keep up, then don't fucking waste somebody's time.
I know. I mean, literally the flip side. Remember, like, months ago, I was trying to buy a clothing rack. And that girl, we could not set a date and time that worked. Like, we could not for the life of us. After attempt number 3 of, like, this was just us texting. It wasn't actually doing anything, but just texting and being like, yeah, that doesn't work for me. Oh, what about this? Yeah, that doesn't work for me. What about that? Okay, yeah. After 3 to 4, I said, I appreciate you trying. Clearly, it's not working. Like, please feel free to move on to the next person. Like, at this point, both of our schedules clearly aren't meshing. This isn't worth either of our energy. Like, just, like, move on. Like, because I was like, this isn't fucking worth it. Like,
Yeah.
at this point, we're both spending longer trying to work this out over, like, just something that
You getting
shouldn't
rid of it.
yeah, that just shouldn't be happening right now. And, like, I would totally respect that as a conversation of being like, listen, like, now it's just not a good time. Like, I thought I could do it, but, like, this is too much. Please feel free to move on. And I wouldn't be offended.
But
I'd be
everybody's just
"Thank
like,
you."
everybody's just so, like, me focused.
It's, yeah, so.
And anytime, I feel like anytime, like you said, like, we're dealing with somebody else's time
yeah,
and effort and
Yeah.
energy, we try to be so respectful of that.
yeah. Probably too respectful. Like, we probably are too, like, tiptoey around everything. But, like, I understand, like, again, we're probably an extreme on the other side. But I'm just like, can someone meet me in the middle? Like, I don't need anything crazy. I just want to know what's going on. I just want it to be done in like a timely manner, or at least a communicated manner. Like, hey, if you can't until Thursday, that's fine. As long as you told me a time or a general time frame, that perfect.
As long as I know you are for
Yes.
sure getting it,
Yeah.
I don't care.
Exactly. So,
But if you can't even do that and stick to it,
Yeah.
like, go fuck yourself.
a little bit, but
Respectfully.
so I went to the secondary person. They literally picked it up before this recording. They were very nice and they were very excited to get it. They literally said, so sorry it fell through, but selfishly very excited, which I was like, absolutely, you deserve this. Thank you for being so understanding. So it all worked out. But yes, if you ever find yourself selling or buying in Facebook Marketplace, be respectful of other people's
Yeah,
time.
Jesus Christ.
Be a human in the chat. Like, oh my God, like, for real. If I'm starting a conversation, I know it's so exciting to want to just hit, hi, so-and-so, is this still available? Just change a few words. I literally go, hi, so-and-so. I'm really interested in this. If it's still available, I would love to, like, set up something.
Set up time for me to pick it up. Whatever.
It's so easy.
Or
It
me.
takes 2 seconds and they know I communicated that message. Because yeah, if you're getting bombarded, the last thing you want is to click on another person who just said the same thing.
I'm just thinking about the fact that literally every single message on Facebook
Yeah.
Marketplace, like, are 95% of them
Yeah.
are, hi, blank, is this still available? Yes.
You also always,
and then that's it. Like,
yeah.
you know, there are people who are just
Yeah.
like one word answer.
Yes.
And then where does it go from
Exactly.
there?
It's
like,
not
holy
a
fuck. It's
conversation
just standoff
starter.
of like,
It is.
who's going to say the next thing?
Exactly. It's not a good starter, a conversation. So if you genuinely want something, do that. Don't use the auto-generated one. Also, like, just have some context clues. If it's been up for 20 minutes, it's still available. Hell, if it's been up for a day, it's probably still available. But that, if someone doesn't get back to you, it's not personal. They probably were bombarded with a stupid amount of messages.
Yeah, don't just send 2 question marks.
Yeah, if you really,
if you do
really,
that,
really,
literally get offline and
just
like
be a human.
walk into the ocean.
If you're selling, never ever give out your phone number. People ask for it constantly. Or they'll be like, just text me. It's better for you to text me. Maybe it is. I've heard too many horror stories behind that storyline, so don't do it. I'm sure there were other things, but personal preference, I always wait until plans are made before any addresses are handed out.
Mhm.
Like, I never ask someone for their address, and I never provide mine until we've gone like, oh yeah, Tuesday around 5 p.m. That works. And then when you've like, you've checked each other's profiles, hopefully, probably, and then you're like, okay, I trust this person enough to like show up. Like, they've communicated a plan. This is what's happening. There's this and that. I also, just as like female, and obviously when you click on my profile, you can tell I'm a female. I always say like, yeah, will be out. Like, I always say, because I mean, there is someone living here. Spencer's living here, obviously. But even if you didn't, I would still fucking do it. I would say, yeah, we'll be down. Or like, yeah, we are. Like, I always say a multiple of people. If that like is something that would make you feel better just in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Just don't be fucking weird. Honestly, that's the end of the story. Don't be fucking weird and just respect people's time. You're getting more coffee. Oh no, we've been talking too long. Spencer's already getting more coffee. But yeah, just don't be weird. Don't and just respect other people. And again, at the end of the day, none of it's personal. It's just shit being handed from one hand to another on Facebook Marketplace. But I promise everything I'm saying is meant in a positive way because I love Facebook Marketplace. Like, sure, shit goes wrong and people are annoying, but I do love using it and will continue to use it for as long as it exists and feels like a safe enough place to use. So, yeah, that was I was only trying to go on a small rant and then we really ranted. But yeah, surprise.
Let's talk about Boston.
Let's talk about Boston, baby. What has been your favorite moment of being in Boston?
Oh, God. I don't know if I have a favorite moment.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I just choked a little bit.
Like, I don't know. I would say I have two. I have two favorite moments.
Okay.
My first favorite moment was just moving in to our first apartment.
Absolutely.
And like having that place,
space.
like it in hindsight was shitty, but like
but in the moment it felt so exciting.
The first however long we had it was just extremely exciting and like
who cares if it was a weird cramped hallway of a basement?
Yeah, and I can look back at it fondly.
Absolutely.
And then my second favorite moment was moving out of that apartment into our new apartment.
Yeah.
But those are like the only moments I can really think of. I think like
that's fair.
I think once we're in Charlotte and we'll now have lived in like a fourth space, like our childhood homes and then college, then Boston, and then now here, like it's like we're starting to kind of rack up like places and like the ability to kind of like look back fondly at like multiple places, because like when we were in college it's like, well, it's only ever been this and home,
right?
And then like Boston, it's like, well, it's only really ever been this and home, and technically college was in there,
right.
Because like they were like but like now we're gonna have 3 experiences that are like the same length, that are almost adding up to the total amount of time just at like our childhood home, growing up and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm like looking forward to that. Like, I think just because I don't have like all these great moments of Boston doesn't mean I'm not going to like look back fondly
Oh, no, absolutely.
at like the experience as a whole and everything like that. And there's definitely going to be so much stuff that like, again, I'm not going to think about in the moment really. Like we're going to list off a lot of the stuff that like are our faves and like the Spencer and Shelby like map of places to go and see and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In Boston or the greater area. And I think there's going to be more places that we realize like, oh yeah, there's this, or like, oh, remember when we got to do that? But
there's also so much we didn't do.
There's plenty that we didn't do. I don't know. What didn't we really do?
I know absolutely nothing about the Cambridge area of Boston.
It's true.
Like literally nothing. Like for the fact that we've lived on both sides of it, we know nothing about it.
Yeah. I mean, there's just Harvard, right?
I mean,
Harvard's in Cambridge.
There's just a lot of like, it's a very happening area. It's popular for kids to move there, fresh to Boston. And we didn't really do anything there. But I mean, I'm not upset about it. Like, I'm just, anything we say, we've obviously only experienced what we've experienced. We obviously we're not experts on the city. It's just like places I would recommend to people, whether living here temporarily, long term, visiting, wanting something slightly different.
So I think there's like multiple ways to like think about this and like how we want to like go about talking about areas.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that lived in Boston.
We lived in
technically the greater Boston area.
Currently.
Yeah. Even our last place.
It was still Boston.
Did have a Boston address?
It was Boston.
Okay, but that was Brighton, which is a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Now we live in Malden.
Yeah.
But both are accessible via the line.
Yeah.
Which kind of shows you, because like cities are weird with how they like technically are cities and like some areas aren't and stuff like that. Pittsburgh's a prime example of that.
Yeah. Which if you're ever visiting, I'm going to try and like keep everything vague because in my brain I'm like, well, this could benefit someone who's visiting, it could benefit someone who's moving here. If you're ever just visiting, the T, in my opinion, coming from not a city person to not living here, very easy to use.
Yeah.
It's not always working, but if it is, very easy to use. And you can always, I've noticed every phone map knows how to integrate the T, whereas some places it's like not really communicating it to you well. I'd say like if you have Apple, Google, whatever you use, like plug it in your phone and hit transportation, it's probably all correct.
Also, there's definitely like plenty of people working in the stations that will be able to like help you. Yeah. Like once you pay and get on, like swapping lines and stuff like that doesn't like cost you anything. So like worst case you get off and they say, no, you need to get back on what you were just on for one more stop. Then get off there. Then you swap lines. Somebody will be able to help you.
Like I would wholly recommend this place like and someone to use the public transportation of it. Like, I would say do it if you can because it's like it's very doable.
Yeah. So if you're just visiting, likely you are going to be in Boston. Right. That would be my assumption. Or like one of the neighborhoods. But like We'll assume in Boston. So do you want to start with that? Like what are the best places like actually in like the city?
I mean, if you want like to truly just get the visiting Boston experience, I was kind of like, we're probably gonna say some very cliche touristy things, but they're nice to do if you've never been here. Like I know it's so like it's the top of every fucking list, but genuinely walking the Freedom Trail downtown. Mm-hmm. Also for the purpose of, if you walk that, you've seen Boston.
I was going to say, you don't need to actually do the tour.
You don't need to do the tour.
Just follow it.
I mean, if you like history, by all means.
Yeah, but if you just follow it, you'll have a good path of like, you got to see the city if you do it.
It's a good baseline of where are you right now. It's helping you if you're like maybe not the most, like directionally.
Savvy.
Sure. It helps you keep track of where you are in the city. So that's a benefit. It basically gives you a tour of everything because feel free to like leave it and be like, oh, let's check out this area. And then hop back on it. You're following a brick path, but you can like hop back on it and walk to another area. Like it makes you hit all the main stops. And like, again, historical and not, you're going to be walking through the whole North End, which like is, and I'm going to say things that probably people from here wouldn't agree with, but it's basically New York City's Little Italy. Like you're going to walk through that. You're going to walk through parts of Charleston that has a lot of like both interesting modern stuff.
Okay, North End is so fucking Italian now.
It is, I know. But I'm saying when people up here be like, don't call it New York's Little Italy.
Yeah, okay, maybe not.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe that's weird, but it is so fucking
equating
Italian.
it to things people would know.
Like we literally
it's
saw
so Italian, yes.
We literally saw Tony Soprano.
No, it's so
It was weird because like we walked by that alley and there was a fridge and it was dark and he was just in muscle tee and boxers standing in front of it, and all that was lighting the alley was the light off of the refrigerator. It was
Right.
crazy.
Yeah. But you're gonna walk through a bunch of different neighborhoods that like feel free to explore. Like you can just explore.
No joke, sorry, but we saw guys in like suits who looked mafia.
They did,
and they were walking and they were shaking hands with people as they passed, and saying like the most prototypical like, "Tell your grandmother I said hi."
It could have literally been from a movie. Yes, you are so right. I'm not disagreeing with you. It
took everything in me not to be like, and then they pull out a. What's it called? Little revolver or something.
I don't know.
A Tommy gun. Not Tommy gun.
But genuinely I would recommend that. That's just an easy way to walk around the city, especially if it's
good
nice
food
out.
Up there.
Oh my god, there's good food everywhere. So that I would recommend for sure, which somewhat related to that, if you're downtown, the Freedom Trail will take you past both of these, but I recommend the Boston Public Market, which is a newer, like, stands are set up in it, all kinds of food, some like groceries, some artisan. You can get tons of like good stuff to eat. But next to that, behind Faneuil Hall, is Quincy Market, which again might be the biggest tourist trap in Boston. But when I tell you, Spencer and I have never had a bad meal there, and everyone we've brought there has never had a bad meal there, I recommend it. Why are you making a face?
Well, I'm making a face because you clearly have a really well put together list.
I told you this is why I'm making a list.
Yeah, I know. All right, chill.
And you said start with if you're downtown.
Yeah, but I wasn't saying like you do everything. I thought we would like trade off.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, no, you've taken everything that I was going to say.
Those were the only things you had?
No, Quincy Market is really good.
Quincy Market is awesome.
And there's a ton of different things in there.
Every type of food you could think of is in there.
Yes.
I love it.
It's very good. And you're right, we have not had bad food there. Yeah. Granted, we've only had like 3 different meals, but they were all really good.
They are really good. And everyone we've taken there has loved their food there.
Right by that is like the wharf. So you can kind of walk along the water, which that stretches for like a really long way. It's like a really nice walk.
Yeah.
There's like
very pretty.
Obviously whale watching and stuff like right by there if you ever want to like set that up.
Yeah, it's where most like water tours go out of, is down there. You can also catch the ferry there to go up to Salem.
That's a neat area. Just around Quincy Market in general, there's like a ton of different shops too. So
some very touristy, some not so much.
Some are
have to just wander.
Some
around.
are just like your typical, like, I don't know. There's probably a Nike store right there or something stupid.
There is like,
but you know what I mean. Like it's like shops like that.
Yeah,
and that's like an area of those.
Also, if you're there on a weekend, in front of Boston Public Market is every Saturday is a farmer's market, which is really fun to walk around. Obviously while like weather's good. Also super random, but I wrote down a few bookshops that are downtown because they're really cute.
Sure.
In the North End, again, the Little Italy in quotation marks. There's a place called I Am Books that's super cute, and I believe is a local only thing.
Yep.
And then up by the park, up by the Boston Commons or the big public park, is the Brattle Bookshop.
Okay.
Which is like the best.
Yes, Brattle Bookshop's really cool. They set out like
Brattle
books
Bookshop.
There's like a building, and then there's a cutout of
what used to be a building.
And they like set out like shelves in there if the weather's nice.
That's where all their clearance books go.
They have everything. They have so many books.
It's such a cute little shop. I love that place. Again, like I feel like it's one of those things that feels so like, oh, of course it's on the list, but like there's a reason it's on the list. Like it's really fun. You can get a bunch of cheap ass books while you're in Boston. And then I had one more for downtown, I think.
Okay.
And it is if you're in the, what area is this? I guess it's just considered downtown. It's relatively close to the park. Ogawa Coffee.
That is not a bookstore, is
That's
it?
not a bookstore, sorry. It's a cafe. Did I say I was still doing books?
I ththought you said you had 3 bookstores.
I said something else for downtown.
I thought you said you had 3 bookstores
No,
that you
I had
wanted
2
to call
bookstores for downtown.
out. Okay.
The Ogawa Coffee shop.
Yeah, that's good.
It's so good.
That's good.
I mean, you just search coffee. There's coffee everywhere up here.
But like you said, there's Boston Commons then, right? That's the name of the park.
Yep.
Huge park. Very nice to walk around.
Yeah.
kind of just like in the middle of all the buildings and stuff, is
Yeah.
just a giant ass park, like
Cute.
Central Park.
Yep.
I'd compare it to Little Italy in Central Park.
Yeah.
And then another thing that's kind of like a very specific, like food or something like that. There's a charcuterie
Yeah.
place that like builds you a charcuterie board, and then they like basically recommend that you take it
To
the park and have
you,
yourself a little picnic.
Yeah, that's over in the neighborhood of Beacon Hill.
Yep.
Super easy if you, again, Cured. It's Kured. Or if you just search Boston charcuterie, I'm sure it would come up as like the only place that does it. Super cute. Perfect for like a small group, like 3 to 4 people. Yeah, and they can give you a little map to all the local parks that they recommend you go sit and you enjoy it. That is such a fun experience.
And then what else? What else is like actually in the city outside of?
I did make note that like I know this is all book related, but the Boston Public Library is really nice.
It's a cool library.
There's a central courtyard in it that is like just to sit.
And they have a little cafe / bar.
They have cafes in there. They have a I forget what kind of alcohol. Like it's all hard alcohol. Like it might be gin.
It's like mixed drinks.
They have a cocktail bar that every cocktail is based after like a famous
so you
literary.
can try to become an alcoholic like your favorite author.
Exactly. So I've never actually been to the bar, but they have a ton of events there and I've heard amazing things about it. But the courtyard's really pretty. If you just like need a break to like sit, go to the library. No one questions anyone sitting in a library.
Mm-hmm.
And the library itself is very, very nice. But yeah, that brings you up to like Copley Square area.
Then you're kind of in like business, like tech and
unless you go
like
the road over and Back Bay where there's all like the bougie shopping. It's our Fifth
like,
Ave, if you will.
Just like stop.
Enough. I love equating everything to New York.
Boston's older. We have the first of everything. But yeah, I think that's pretty much
that's
it.
The main hits of
downtown.
Downtown.
And then it's like, again, it's like the neighborhood. So like obviously Fenway where the Red Sox play.
Yeah.
That's where
Timeout Market.
Well, that's where like Fenway Park is, yeah. And then there's like Timeout Market, which is kind of like Quincy Market in
another, I'll say, cafeteria style.
Yeah, you can kind of like there's just multiple like
little
booths,
yeah,
whatever you want to call them,
yeah,
where people have shops set up
yeah
for food, and that's really good. What else was I thinking of? We didn't call it out, but like around North Station, North End is where TD Garden is, so that's where the Celtics play. That's where the Bruins play.
Yep.
If you want to catch a basketball game or a hockey game.
Yep.
But yeah,
very easy to get to via train as well.
Yes.
Very easy.
Like I said, then you have like these neighborhoods. So like Fenway is like right along the Green Line.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, was there more in Fenway that you want to call out, or did you want to like talk about like Brighton?
I didn't have anything else on my list, but I was to the Isabel Gardner Museum in Fenway.
Yeah.
That was actually a very nice. That's the only museum I went to in Boston. I meant to go to more. I went to the free part of ICA, which is in East Boston.
Fenway has a lot of parks around it.
It's very nice. You also get that experience in the Brighton, Brookline area, though, because it's literally called the Emerald Necklace. Something like that. That's why it's the Green Line.
I think it's a pearl necklace.
No, it's emerald because of all the green little dots if you were to see it from an aerial view because of all the parks that were intentionally sprawled in there. But yeah, Isabel Gardner Museum is very pretty, like very aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, that was one of the 2 museums I've been to. I didn't go to like any of the fine art ones, which I did need to, but it's fine. Yeah, the MoMA. Yeah, the MoMA. Anyway, that was very nice. Very nice museum.
The Smithsonian,
but that's the only thing I've done in Fenway. Yeah, basically everything else I have is Brighton or outside of city. So
let's do Brighton quick.
So Brighton, which is west of the city.
And where we used to live. There are 3 neighborhoods in that area. There's Alston, Brighton. Which are sometimes interchangeable.
Because where we used to live was the Brighton-Alston neighborhood. Yeah, it literally said it on the signs.
Oh, I thought ours was...
It said Brighton / Alston.
Yeah. Yep. But then...
And then there's Brookline.
Which is also sometimes interchangeable
but Brookline,
with Brighton,
I swear,
because they're right up on each other.
Is the rich part of all 3 of those.
Yes.
Brookline, tons of mansions in parts of it. Apparently, who used to be the quarterback up here? Tom
Ben
Brady.
Roethlisberger.
Tom Brady apparently had a stupid expensive condo or something in that neighborhood. Like, it's the ritzy part. Like, there's still normal parts, but compared to the three of them, it's like the rich part of the others. Still nice to walk around and tons of nice stuff, but yeah. But yes, we lived in Brighton technically, which both Boston College and Boston University are in the Brighton Allston neighborhoods. A little bit confusing. We technically lived near Boston College, not Boston University, which is what is definitely more known than Boston College. So
I'd say they're both well known. Boston College has a really good hockey program.
That's true, I guess. I've just always even before being in Boston, I'd heard of Boston University for like a lot of grad programs. I think I knew it for like media programs.
I'm not rolling my eyes, but I'm rolling my eyes at you.
Why?
I don't know. Like, that's like saying like, oh, Michigan University is more well known than Michigan State. It's just like they're the same.
So, in the Brighton area, I will say we lived there during the height of COVID. And we left during
All
COVID.
I'm saying is, for like the first year that we lived here, we kept confusing Boston College and Boston University.
Yeah, because we're dumb. Not because we knew both of them.
They're the same. Like, it's
no,
like
they're not.
I know they're not, but like it's the same thing.
I mean, sure, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I feel no passion towards either. I'm just sure if you said that to one of them, they'd be like, "That's actually not right."
Yeah, but I'm saying if you walked up to a normal person and were like, "Have you ever heard of Boston College or Boston University?" Their brain would probably snap because they'd be like, "What's the difference?"
I mean, yeah, that's just bad naming conventions. I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, you're just making it seem like one's more well known than the other, and I would
don't-
say that most people couldn't tell you the difference.
I am most people. So
You're just saying that you could.
I mostly know about food in Brighton. Because honestly, in my opinion, Brighton is all about eating and then laying in a beautiful park somewhere. That was my opinion of Brighton.
Yeah,
which
so
was
like
great.
we said, ton of parks.
Tons of parks, tons of
But
coffee, tons of coffee.
If we're gonna give the best places
Yeah.
to go eat,
Yeah.
you've got Eagles Deli,
Hell yeah, which is right by Boston College.
right by Cleveland Circle.
Right by Cleveland Circle and the...
It's literally end of the sea
What
line.
was the reservoir?
Was it just the Cleveland Circle Reservoir?
No. It had a different name.
Whatever.
Doesn't matter.
But
Cleveland
it's
Circle
literally-
/ Boston College.
You can ride the sea line to the end,
Yeah.
get off, and there it is.
Oh, and it's so good.
It's so good.
If you want some greasy food.
Good burgers, good fries, great
Milkshakes.
milkshakes, delicious.
What a great, and the owners, I think the owner we've met a few times. He's super nice.
Then, up near the more Alston area,
Yeah.
you've got Roxy's.
Ooh, Roxy's grilled cheese. If you want some specialty grilled cheese, prepare to
They
have your
have
socks
a grilled
blown
cheese that is called the Green Munster.
off.
It's like my favorite example to give. So it has
Yeah.
Munster cheese obviously on it. It probably has another cheese on it, and then it has guacamole
Yes.
or just avocado. I think it's guac.
I think it's guac.
It's so good.
It is so good.
It's so good.
I love getting their
They have a buffalo tofu.
buffalo tofu. It's really good. I think they
That's
stopped
not a grilled
selling
cheese.
it. I think they stopped selling it as vegan though. Like I think you now just get cheese on it. Like before they had the option to make it vegan.
Yeah, it's vegan cheese.
I don't think it is. I think they took away the vegan option. I think now it's just cheese.
Or it's just vegan.
Well, it's not vegetarian. I
No,
think.
or it's just vegan.
No, I swear, I guess, but they don't say vegan cheese in the description. It's still
Just
really
saying.
good.
It's one or the other.
It's still really good. They just don't say anything and they just chance it and throw one on there depending on how they're feeling. But yeah, those were probably our top. Oh, and Yas Chicken.
Yas Chicken.
Which was a newer
Which technically has a
addition.
couple of different locations.
Throughout
I think
Boston,
both
yeah.
of the first two are those are the only locations for them.
Yeah, I think so. But very good food. I mean, honestly, there's since we've even left, there's so much new food there. So a lot of it.
Well, yeah, I don't
We had
know.
a lot of
but
good
also I
food
don't know if
there.
it's new or if it's just that like we didn't
know it.
know it. I don't know.
I'm sure it's a bit of both.
Because right by Eagles Deli, there's a ton of other food there. And
There
so
is.
like and that was literally we were rode in from that.
Yeah.
And so we just ate at a lot of those places.
Yeah.
Like there's a pizza shop at the end up the and around the corner.
Oh, it's Cleveland Circle Pizza.
No, it's the Circle.
Oh yeah,
It's just the Circle. But yeah. Sorry, that was an annoying correction.
No, but you're right. It's
Um
not the name.
but yeah, it's just the Circle Pizza. And like that was like pretty good.
It was
Like pretty
okay.
good pizza.
Maybe hot take. Boston does not do pizza very well.
Well,
If you love pizza,
you don't love pizza though.
I don't
You
love
only like
pizza.
specialty pizza.
That's true.
So they don't do specialty pizza as well. But I thought the Circle
It
had
was
good
good.
pizza. Like
It
it
was
was
good.
doughy and like
we've had some pizza problems being up
it
here.
reheated well.
But
The Circle was good.
It was good. No, if you love any type of Asian food, you're gonna be like in heaven up here.
Yeah. We had 3 Chinese restaurants within like delivery.
Distance.
We probably had more,
Yeah.
but we had 3 different ones that we would get delivered to us.
Yeah.
To try and figure out which one was best, and they were all good.
Yeah. We have not had bad Chinese food up here, which has been amazing. I think we got to try some Vietnamese food up here that was good. We've tried Korean barbecue that was really good. Like we tried a bunch that was like that killed up here. Like it was really good. So that was really fun. Anything else in Boston, in Brighton? I did put, if you're looking for some shopping, there's a store called Uvita, which is Boston. It's a zero waste store. It's located in Brookline. There's a place called Boston General Store that focuses on handmade artisan goods.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool stuff. Again, if you're looking for more local, lower waste options.
And not too far away is Watertown.
What's in Watertown?
Like Target and like all those things. Just fucking around. GameStop? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a GameStop somewhere. And then the only other thing.
Replayed is in. I almost forgot. Sorry.
No, you're right.
In Austin, right by Roxy's.
Yes.
Roxy's
grilled cheese, and not far from Yas Chicken.
Replayed.
Retro game store.
Awesome.
It is
I've
awesome.
given them so much money.
You have. We're gonna miss them dearly. I did want to do one more notable mention. There is a group that organizes local, I'll say like craft fairs, art events. They're called the Brighton Bazaar, and they're literally just at the Brighton Bazaar if you're looking to find them. They generally do 2 to 3 events a month during the good weather. And they are becoming quite an established group that organizes, again, I'm saying craft fairs. I mean, they're a bazaar, but just in case that word means nothing to you.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
Exactly.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Tons of local artists, vintage collectors, all sorts of stuff like that. I have both worked with them and shopped there a ton. And I think they are probably one of the best groups I've ever like attended and definitely worked for. They're amazing. The people who run it are amazing. The people who work there are like who like opt to participate are amazing. I have met so many incredible people. Just going there and hanging out is a vibe. I love it. It's probably like one of my favorite things I've discovered in Boston, and it's probably gonna be the thing I miss the most leaving. Like I'm really sad to be leaving that and all the people I've met there, and even the people who like the customers. You like start to like recognize them, and they're like, "Yo, I just love coming here." I think someone said it's like they love it because all the weirdos and gays come out. Like that was like someone's like, "I come here for all the gay people," and I was like, "Do it." I'm not crying.
Crying.
No, I'm just gonna miss it.
Why are you getting so emotional? Are you crying?
There's a ton of really good markets throughout Boston, but
that was the one that
the Brighton
you like
Bazaar
participated
was
in
the
most
impressionable for me.
And the one that
personally.
definitely, like you said, is
a ton
to be annoying. Zoomer
Uh-huh.
had a great vibe.
It had a great vibe.
Like that is the best way to describe it. It really did.
It's so fun to be at. On
it's
on
like
either
it's
side.
a nice place to hang out. Yeah. I went to 2.
But everyone was just so nice, and they always do a really, if you're like a big, again, art fair person, like they always do a really good job of having a variety of people, and everyone's so interesting. So yeah, would recommend, and they're only getting bigger and bigger. So if you follow them on Instagram and you find yourself in Boston pretty frequently, maybe you'll get to go to an event or 2. But yeah, that was the only other thing I had for Brighton, and then everything else I have is kind of just a few things outside of the city.
Cool.
So I just keep going.
So outside the city, obviously you have like Salem.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have to say too much about that.
No, I'd say it does enough for itself.
Where else? I guess just for like hot spots of like little areas. I don't know how much we need to dive too deep into each one, but like you've got like Revere.
Yeah.
That has like
Reverse. Yeah.
they have stuff there.
It's just another like community.
Yeah.
It does have a
The
beach.
nice thing is, I would say that like a lot of these places, like you do have to like go a bit out of your way to get to them. But like
Yes.
once you're there, you can like hop from each to each, and there's like different shops, there's different like food, stuff like that
Definitely.
with each of them. The one that we probably want to spend the most time on, I'm assuming, is Beverly.
Yeah.
Were there any other like big neighborhoods?
No, not really.
Obviously, you have like Gloucester, Manchester by the Sea for like little cool areas.
I did miss in Bright Alston, Zone 3, which is an
Zone
art.
3, yeah.
And it's a space where a bunch of like art driven events are done. And in the summer,
Aeronaut Brewery.
they run an event with Aeronaut, which is a big local brewer in Boston. And it's called Aeronaut Alston is the event. I do think they have their own Instagram page if you want information.
Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays.
Yep.
Starting at like 5.
Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah, till like 10 p.m.
Local
bands.
Yep.
Local food trucks.
Yep.
And you just get to hang. It's an outdoor beer garden.
Yep.
But Zone 3 does a lot of other stuff too, like a lot of art centered events, which are really cool, and they're really becoming a cool part of the community. But yeah, in the summertime, I would tell anyone to go to Aeronaut Alston. It's just so fun. I will say, out of all spaces in Alston, Brighton, Brookline, it's the biggest pain in the ass to get to. So like you basically need a car.
Yeah.
You could take the bus, but
yeah,
it's kind of a pain in the ass.
It's not close to a line,
where it's
really.
located. But otherwise, if you like have a car or a friend has a car or something, if you want to go up there, it's really fun just to hang out. And like we've both gotten food truck food there, or we've sometimes just bring our own food there and hang out. And it's just, yeah, it's really enjoyable to go there. Like I would totally recommend that. It is fun. I would recommend that to anyone. Probably one of our favorite things we discovered living up there. We've taken like everyone there that we can. So they're a summer only thing though, like true summer, like Labor Day, Memorial Day to Labor Day is when they function. So if you're here during the summer, you got like a 60% chance that they're open. So yeah, I would recommend them. But yeah, sorry, Beverly is located north of Boston, specifically north of Salem, like just north of Salem. And we focus largely in there's like 2 main areas of Beverly, which we've only been to like half of it. We've been to like the true downtown Beverly, and it's a really cute town to walk around. That is where we would drive all the way up there to go to the beach because it's a lot more chill and like removed from the city. And we had, it's one, just great to walk around, but 2, we found a bunch of like cafes and like restaurants and a ton of boutiques. Like it feels very small town, beach town. So tons of cute stores. We loved Unpacked.
Yep.
Which is a zero waste store.
Yep.
We loved the Atomic Cafe was our go-to cafe up there. Make some killer grilled cheese sandwiches. We clearly just love grilled cheese sandwiches.
They also had really good coffee drinks.
They did have good coffee drinks. What was the comic book store?
I don't remember.
I'm looking.
There's also a board game cafe.
Yes, which is called the Castle.
Yep. And they do really good drinks and food in general. But they do good drinks, and they have milkshakes, right? And they do boozy milkshakes if you want, which we never did, I don't think. But then I think for $5, you just pay $5 and you can play as many board games as you want. And it's just $5. It's not $5 per person.
Nope. No, it is $5 per person.
It's $5 per person. Not as big of a bargain as I thought, but $5 is not much.
If you go there for lunch,
we went with our friend Ian, and we
spent like a whole half a day there.
Oh my god. Like we went to the beach first, and then we walked all the way up in, because it's not that far of a walk really. Yeah. And yeah, we probably spent 3 or 4 hours just playing games and eating and drinking and
they have every type of game. Like if you are a big strategy fan, like you can go there.
And then they have the classics. They've got Monopoly. They got Life. They got
both family friendly and like, again, if you're into more intense board, it can literally hit anything. Either. Yeah. And yeah, they have great food. So if you ever want to like spend a day in Beverly, like you're just sick of the city and it's nice out, definitely go up there. It's super easy to find parking. And Greg was ripping our door apart. And
what's the name of the comic book store?
The comic book store is Paper Asylum, which is really close to the Atomic Cafe. But yeah, Beverly is basically like 2 to 3 main roads, all very easy to get between and easy to get everything you want in like one space. This is kind of a weird mention, but if you like have a car, also in Beverly is the Beverly Bootstraps thrift store, which is a goodie. Like a true like not city thrift store that has good stuff. And there was one more in Salem that I wanted to point out that Spencer and I both said if we ever needed to furnish an apartment, that's where we would have gone.
Oh, yeah.
The Life Bridge thrift store. Yep. Life Bridge thrift store in Salem. We absolutely would have furnished a whole apartment with stuff there.
Yeah, they had a lot of good stuff.
And yeah, that was basically my entire list. I know this was really long. If you're ever in Boston for any reason, short or long, I'd recommend following Boston Uncovered. It is just like a Boston news and what's happening page, and they always have a ton of good recs of both current things happening and just like consistent, like, oh, it's spring, this is what you should do. Probably the best social media page I have found in terms of like stuff to do. So that's what I would recommend. Grogu's getting very antsy. He's upset we showed him out the entirety of this episode. He has FOMO. Our little orange boy has FOMO. Oh no. He looks so annoyed.
But if we let him go, he's going to rip into the packed materials that we have. So
that's why we have a mad cat. So that was Boston. It's been 3 years.
Has been 3 years. It's also been an hour and 6 minutes.
Hour and 6 minutes. So we're going to wrap it up. Sorry for the length of it. Half of this was Facebook Marketplace complaining. It's been a good 3 years. And there's going to be a lot that we miss, but there's going to be a lot we don't.
That we're happy to get away from.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's it.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Next week is
Movie Club.
The SMSoup Movie Club. Hopefully you managed to make it all the way here.
Just to hear this.
We will be watching Night and Day.
Mm-hmm.
The classic Tom Cruise, Cameron Diaz movie.
It might be the movie that turned me on to Tom Cruise.
It's a weird thing to say.
Yep.
So we'll be watching that for a reason that we will not disclose, but be sure to. Actually, no, we'll disclose it. The reason we were watching it is because we watched Ghosted, the new Ana de Armas and Chris Evans movie
on Apple TV.
So if you have the ability to watch both, I would recommend it. But also at the same time, you don't need to watch Ghosted, in my opinion. And I won't say much more, but we will be spoiling both movies next week.
Yeah.
As well as talking about some of the other stuff we've been watching before we move.
Yeah. Ah. Bye, Boston. It's been nice.
Bye, listeners.